No.
Yeah? Okay, so take
No one's
2.
watching yet though.
I've disabled my Wi-Fi. We're going to try through 4G. See if that's a bit more stable. Let's try that again. So,
Okay.
I've been asked to do a beginner's guide to bodyweight exercises. So I put 5 exercises together, guys, with progressions for each one that you can gradually build up. You can work on your form. You can build yourselves up to harder progressions. So we're going to start with the most basic movement, the squat. Okay. So if you can't perform a full range squat all the way down and all the way up yet, then guys, I want you to start here. So we're going to start with the chair. Okay guys, so you need a sturdy chair. We're going to set our squat position. So toes are just outside of hips, toes are turned out just slightly. From this position, guys, we're going to brace the abs, nice and tight here. And we're going to bring the hands out for balance, and we're just going to come down and touch the chair back up from that squat position. So if you get to here, guys, and you feel weak, I want you to fight that, but squeeze your bum, come down, and then back up again. Okay, so find that weak point, work it, squeeze it, back down to that chair. Now if that's too easy, guys, if you've already mastered that and you need a slightly harder progression from that, then the next stage is just to use something for a bit of stability. So we can use the same chair. Hands are going to come out for balance. We're just going to have touch, fingertips, same position on our feet. We're going to come down, down, down into our squat, and then we're going to stand. So what I want you to work on here, guys, is that weak point. If you get to here, you feel that weak point, I want you to just squeeze into it, and then we're going to stand. If your weak point is here, same guys, just squeeze into that weak point, come up. And gradually over time, guys, that squat will get deeper. You'll get more control, more range of movement. You'll be able to do a full body weight squat. So that is your squat, guys. Next, we have the press up. Okay, so the press up is the most difficult exercise to learn, especially for women. So what I'm going to show you is we're going to come down this way. A struggle of finding something to lean on. And what you basically need, guys, is an elevated surface, okay? So your kitchen side is going to be about here. It's a great place to start. So I've got the edge of my flower bed. So I'm going to demonstrate. What's important about the elevated squat is we want to learn proper squat, the elevated press up, sorry. We want to learn proper press up position. So hand position is going to be quite narrow. From here we're going to think about rotating the elbows backwards so that they're facing behind my body. Okay, I want a nice solid straight line with my body shape. I don't want my hips dropping. I want to keep my chest proud, keep my bum squeezed, squeeze everything. From here we're going to keep elbows tight to ribs, touch your chest, and we're going to lift. Breathe in on the way down, focusing on keeping elbows tight. Breathe out on the way up. Guys, if you find them hard, the higher the height is, the easier these will be. So you find your starting height and you work those press ups, keeping nice and tight. And gradually over time, if you work at it, guys, chip away at it every day, you'll be able to bring that height down, and eventually you'll be able to do them off the floor. So that is your press up. Let's go over the plank next, guys. So back down. So the plank. Okay. The easiest way to start with your plank, guys, is to start on your knees. So on our knees, we're going to focus on getting that perfect position. So it's all about getting that perfect position in our plank. So 2 common mistakes people make with the plank is you'll see people cross their hands at the front or put their hands together. Keep your arms straight. Yeah, a second mistake you see very commonly is people putting their buns up in the air. So you want a nice straight line with your body. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice getting that straight line on our knees. So we're going to come down. Now my elbows should be directly under my shoulders. So you don't want your arms forward, you want them directly under your shoulders. So from here, I'm basically going to come into my kneeling plank position. Now I'm going to think about bringing my body weight forward, tightening my core up, squeezing my bum, And as we move those knees further away, you'll feel your core switch on. You'll feel it tighten right up. And we just want to focus on keeping nice and straight, nice and still. And guys, as you get stronger at this exercise, try tucking one toe under and just lifting. Now drop that knee back down, tuck the other toe, and just lift. Keep your body weight forward. And don't allow your core to relax. If you feel any pressure in your lower back at all, guys, just stop, okay? Don't do this exercise. Send me a message. I'll go through the plank with you in person. Right. Next we have the glute bridge. So, the glute bridge, one of the most basic exercises for building strength in your backside, guys. So for this exercise, come around to the side, babe.
The side?
Yeah, so they can see form. Okay, so we're going to lie on our back and we're going to think about getting our heels as close to our bum as we can. So I like to get my heels nice and close. The closer the better, guys. Okay, now width, your feet should be about the same width as your hips. So from here, I'm going to think about putting my hands flat, and now I'm going to push through my heels and squeeze my bum to bring me up into the bridge. So this is your basic bridge position. So from here, we would lower down with control, just touching that floor, and we would lift back up again. The key with this exercise is squeezing the bum cheeks together as hard as you can. Imagine you've got a penny and you don't want it to fall out. A penny right between those bum cheeks. Squeeze that penny, lift. Keep your weight in your heels at all times, guys, okay? Don't allow yourself to come into those toes. Stay in your heels, squeeze and lift. Now, to advance this exercise, you have two options. If you're finding the basic glute bridge easy, we can add a little bit of resistance. So we would simply rest the weight on our lap and we would lift and squeeze at the top. Exact same movement. Bringing those hips as high as you can, focusing on height, extension. And guys, second way you can advance this exercise is to hold at the top, and from the top we would then straighten one leg, put it back down, and then we would focus on straightening the other leg. And we would keep this exercise slow and controlled, focusing on maintaining high hips and a tight bum at all times. So that is your glute bridge, guys. So next exercise, the last one and the best one, is the wall sit. So for this, guys, you just need a bit of wall. I've got a really small space of wall. It's the only bit I've got, so I'm going to demonstrate the wall sit for you guys. So this exercise will strengthen the front of the legs. They're going to help with your squats. So we're going to make sure our back is flat against the wall. From here, we're going to slide down until we get to a nice 90-degree angle in those feet. From here, we're going to put our hands up behind our head, and you're going to focus on opening your chest and pushing your elbows back against the wall. And we're just simply going to hold, guys, okay? Holding that wall sit position. Keep your weight in your heels. You'll feel an intense burn here in these quads. Keep holding it. Keep squeezing it. Okay, so let's talk about the structure, guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to find the squat variation that works best for you, for your level at this stage. 20 squats, then we're going to do 10 press-ups elevated, then we're going to do a 30-second plank, 10 glute bridges, whichever variation is most challenging for you, and then a 30-second wall sit. You're going to rest for 1 to 2 minutes, and you're going to repeat that for 3 times. And guys, if you follow that, that'll get you the basics, it'll get you strong, it'll build that base, and you'll be able to do the more advanced exercises before you know it. So I hope that helped, guys. Any questions, please leave me comments. Cheers.